Water is one of the most vital of all resources for humans. We need water to survive and in many aspects of our day-to-day life. However, many of us do not realize that our source of water is derived primarily from rivers that originate and flow from the highlands. The amount and quality of water carried by a river and its ability to support life are determined by its catchment and what happens in that catchment. A catchment is an area of land bounded by natural features such as hills and mountains from which water flows into a drainage network comprising streams, rivers and wetlands. The catchment catches water from rainfall and the drainage network channels water throughout the catchment and eventually into a common outlet.
The challenges in the river catchment management is not much, save for the area in which in the place where the villages are. Outside of the village, when we talk about the catchment, a lot of the activities, which includes the plantation of rubber, cash crops and rice, when done traditionally, are still doing the good practices that have been practiced traditionally for a long time. What we are worried about the management of the catchment in these areas is any new changes that they will bring, especially one that could lead into the contamination of water, the increase of sediment loads into the system.
We have a lot of disturbance from our land-based uses, and a lot of these changes infiltrates into the river system and ecosystem. So it's a chain of reaction where from that on it will affect the whole ecosystem of the river itself, not just from the flow, hydrological and all that, but also into the aquatic ecosystem as well.
Recognizing the importance of freshwater ecosystem and the need for sustainable management of water catchments, WWF-Malaysia embarks on a 3-year freshwater project in Sabah with full funding from HSBC Bank Malaysia Berhad. The project site is in the Liwagu Catchment in Tambunan district, within one of the 10 priority catchment areas in the state of Sabah, as identified in the Sabah Water Resource Management Plan formulated in 1994.
I think Sabah is one of the more organized states in the whole of Malaysia in terms of water resource management. We have the Sabah Water Council. We also have the Sabah Water Resources Enactment Act 1998. And to have our own legal system for sustainable management of water resources in Sabah, under the directorship of the unit under the ID, the water or the Director of Water Resources. I think this is a very excellent move by the state of Sabah to conserve its water resources.
The Liwagu project, launched in April 2010, is among the first freshwater field projects for WWF Malaysia in Sabah, focusing on issues on management of water catchment for safeguarding its resilience to deliver freshwater resources and other ecosystem values that contribute towards local communities' livelihood, socio-economic enhancement, and biodiversity conservation. One of the major activities of the Liwagu project is the scientific expedition. This was jointly organized with the Institute for Tropical Biology and Conservation of Universiti Malaysia Sabah and Sabah Wetlands Conservation Society in 2011. Through this expedition, WWF Malaysia, Universiti Malaysia Sabah, and Sabah Wetlands Conservation Society were able to show that the environment and natural resources in the Liwagu catchment are still in tip-top condition.
This is the first time WWF and ITBC embark on a joint program. We jointly finance it, and then we engage the villagers and other stakeholders to discuss about the results, and we look into the future. So I'm very, very happy with with how the program was organized and what we have achieved so far.
As we know, UMS is a higher education organization in higher education, and our main focus is, of course, teaching and research. Yeah? So I think UMS and WWF can go into a very smart partnership for sustainable conservation from the point of view of us coming out with good human resource, and also we can provide good information on the best practices of sustainable water conservation. I think basically in these two areas, training and as well as research is how UMS and WWF can go into a smart partnership.
We are scientists. The staff and students of HSBC would really be interested in looking at the scientific angles of water conservation and management. Of course, we are hoping that the results of those research that we did and will be doing in the near future would be utilized by the authorities.
I would say we don't have the silver bullet in it, but we work with partners and we work in collaboration with all the relevant government agencies to attain the same mission and goal in protecting and also in instilling education among our locals about why the need of us to protect our river basin and also the river ecosystem itself.
Besides the expedition, other important milestones of the project include the series of dialogues initiated and facilitated with various stakeholders to exchange knowledge and deliberate on issues concerning environmental conservation in the catchment. The results of these dialogues increase outreach and awareness building among local stakeholders towards sustainable management of water catchment. The successful river environmental education program, which involved the participation of local students and communities from the Liwagu Catchment, was organized in collaboration with Sabah Parks, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and the Environmental Action Committee. Through the conservation efforts in Liwagu, all of us should step up in learning more about our water catchments and take actions to ensure our precious water resources are secured now and in the future.